Yesterday's episode went swimmingly-ish. Results were very good. The way we went about them, not quite so straightforward, although that was because we were giving some fringe players some first team football. I want to try and make sure that everybody gets a go, so to speak, and I'm not just playing the same 11 every week. Albeit, I do need to play Roberto every bloody game because we are nothing without him. We kind of knew that already before yesterday's episode, and that was just reaffirmed. He is our top goal scorer with 16 in 14 games. He's not growing. He's peaked at 80, and he's the best 80 rated striker I have ever used. Without any question or shadow of doubt. I imagine he's the league's top goal scorer. Yes, although only just actually ahead of Jesus Ferreira for Villarreal, who has 14 and 16 the other way around. Obviously, Villarreal joint top of the table with Barcelona, whose top goal scorer is Fatty there in third place with 12 in 16. We, however, are in the top 3 now, not just top 4, the top 3. Betis have subsequently played another game and have drawn it. So we could pull away from those below us if we can get victory in today's first game against Valencia, which obviously isn't going to be straightforward. We're trying, hoping to close the gap on Villarreal and Barcelona, but at the minute, they are untouchable, as you can see at the top of the table. We could go within 6 points of both of them, however, if we're victorious in the opening game today. Busy-ish month with 4, Valencia, Mallorca, Girona and Sevilla. We will sim the home game against Girona. Mallorca and Girona are, I think, around about the same space in the league, down towards the bottom. Girona are 15th, Mallorca are 17th, and it, in theory, makes sense to sim the home game in that front, doesn't it? You'd imagine, anyway. We're at home, however, to begin against Valencia, and hopefully we can just pick up where we left off. We're in a run of at least 3 straight victories, make that 5 straight victories. I still can't quite believe that game against Real Madrid. And, well, 6 victories in 7, 7 victories in 8 in our last few games, and 8 games undefeated. And hopefully that will soon become 12 games undefeated. Although I'm sure Valencia and Sevilla will have a firm say in that. Valencia first, and then we'll push on from there. Drop the video a like. I'd appreciate it very much indeed if you did. Really helps the channel. And of course, if you're enjoying the save, make sure you subscribe and you won't miss out on any more. Valencia, they're not having a very strong season with regards to their league position. However, they do have a really good team. Maximiano in goal at 85. Christensen, Akanji, Tezi and Jesus Vasquez is the back line. Zubimendi sat a little bit deeper behind Shaparenko and Alcaraz. 87 rated Smith Rowe on the left. The weaker link in the forward 6 is Nelson on the right-hand side, but Amin Guiri up top at 86 rated is going to be dangerous to say the least. However, Roberto plays just like an 86 rated player, even though he isn't an 86 rated player, and the longer he does that, the better the season we will have. The league's top goal scorer, I was about to say by a mile, but he's not by a mile. He's my top goal scorer by a mile. Nobody else is even bloody close to him. And if he does get injured or suspended for any reason, we might well be in trouble for the amount of time that he is out of the picture. But for the time being, we're going to utilise him as best we can for as long as we can. And hopefully, he'll keep a clean disciplinary and injury record. That's good pace by Alcaraz. And the goal was not as into the corner as perhaps it initially might have looked. It's a hell of a strike from Alcaraz, and to be honest, I'm a bit frustrated that that's gone in from there. He's still quite a long way out. It's a good run, it's a good first touch, but from there, the keeper doesn't even react until it's next to him. He's not unsighted. It is a well-struck shot. Should the keeper save that? Or is it just a very good goal from Carlos Alcaraz? I'll let you be the judge of that. They are going to be difficult to get behind. It's going to feel like a 5-man midfield, and then as soon as we get past that midfield, one of them is going to drop deeper, and it's going to feel like a 5-man defence as well. That's a good touch by Roberto, and a nice ball out here to Pantea, who has Pellistri inside. Roberto's waiting, but Teze comes across and steps in very nicely indeed. And Valencia, so far, are working me very well in this game. I feel second best here at the minute. We haven't felt like that with this first string 11 for a little while. But I don't feel like I'm going to be able to compete in this one. That said, we have just won it back and showed some sort of strong defensive work there. Nanasi on the break. Calderon's in the middle, but he's not good with the ball at his feet in the terms of physicality. It's a lovely ball through to Pellistri, though, because when he's got the space, Calderon, he is exceptional. And he finds the assist, and Pellistri finds the goal, and we are level. I might feel like they're the better side, but if we can at least compete and hold them to a draw, then I'd be happy enough. It was a good goal, that one. Really well worked. All about that ball between the gap to spin the defender, to work the space. Excellently done. David Silva regen against one of David Silva's former clubs. And Roberto runners around. Here's Pellistri. Back inside to Calderon. Roberto could go on the run and has done. Go to Pellistri first. And I get around the outside of Jesus Vasquez. I don't know if he's quick or not. So I'm not sure whether I'm confident being able to get around the outside of him. And that, is where Calderon suffers with the lack of physicality. Exactly proving my point from what I was saying as we were building up to our goal. When he's got the ball at his feet and he's under pressure like that, Calderon just isn't anywhere near as effective as I need him to be. But given the space, as he was, for the assist that he got, he's absolutely deadly. And it's a case of weighing up whether that ability, when given the space, is worth the frustration of the moments where he doesn't have it. What do we get more from him, from being occasionally world class, than we would do from someone that would all the time be pretty good? And I haven't yet been able to adequately decide which way I fall on that. I felt like we could close that gap down. We did, and I'm glad we did. Otherwise, Valencia would have been 2-1 in front there. Brecalo off the bench here for them. 85 rated. Quite the quality to be able to bring in from the wings. Smith Rowe to take the corner. Probably short to Brecalo again. Hello, we've seen that before. Aha! He's just nutmegged me. And my keeper's fallen over the defender. Well, that isn't really going to give us a great opportunity to keep the ball out the back of the net. Thankfully, we've worked it away. I don't know whether you saw that briefly there, but the goalkeeper fell over the man at the near post, and for a small moment there, Valencia just had an open goal to potentially try and shoot at. Are you onside, Emil? You are not. 20 to go. It's still 1-1. Although Valencia still do look like the better team. Christensen. This is dangerous. Smith Rowe's going to cut this back, isn't he? No, he's going to go for goal. Mendy makes the save. Omur coming on for me. Actually for Calderon, and I've moved Nanasi central to have a bit more physicality in that cam role now for the rest of the game. We might not have enough time to adequately see if that works or not, so maybe I try that again in a later fixture in today's episode, perhaps the one coming up against Mallorca, and see if Nanasi through the middle is just more consistent than Calderon. It's a case of what do you feel is better? World class occasionally or pretty decent all of the time? It's such a difficult position to be. It almost feels Ozil-esque, where you know that they have that massive quality, but are they consistent enough to actually give it to you? It's not quite a case of laziness, so to speak, as it was with Ozil. And even Ozil should have gone on target at least from Nanasi. Even Ozil had physicality that Calderon doesn't have. It's an awkward position to be in. Donny van der Bench comes off it for Valencia here. Just can't find himself into anybody's starting lineup, can he, Donny? Maybe he might be someone, oh dear, we could look at in this save to improve our midfield at some point. If he's not getting first-team football at Valencia, perhaps he'd consider first-team football at Málaga. I can maybe sign him and start him ahead of Estiquillo, because he's ageing and is going to need replacing sooner rather than later. That was poor from Pantea. That's got to be better coming out from defence there. And you see through what he wants to play. Brecalo's looking for a lovely ball around the corner there. Mendy will keep that out. And it will either be 1-1 at the end of the game, or Valencia are going to nick it. It's going to be 1-1, I hope. Please get there, Nanasi. It's going to be 1-1. We'll take a point. No? Yes. we'll take a point. With Mallorca coming up next, that absolutely is a winnable game, as is the one against Girona. So we'll hope to get 6 points from our next 2. And that would be 7 points overall for the episode so far. And if we can stay unbeaten for the full length of the month and avoid losing to Sevilla as well, then I'd definitely be happy enough. But you can see from those stats that Valencia were the side, if either was going to win it, to take 3 points. Didn't they, did they? Whee. Malaga with 5 at the back. And considering the strength of this team, it's a surprise to see them as lowly as they are. However, a couple of higher rated players weren't in their starting 11, so I don't think they're actually playing their best team every week, which is probably why they are where they are in the league. Montipo in goal, Estevez at right back, Carter Vickers, Bukaima, Capete and Diego Esler in the back 5. Then Kral, Coisance and Koenig in the midfield, with Gabin Fournier up top. We know all about him. And then Basile Jean alongside him. I'd love to sign Gabin Fournier, but I don't know where I'd play him, because there's no way I'd take Roberto out of this team at the moment, potentially even ever. And at the minute, maybe he's just a much more solid player to start at cam every single week. What I'm trying for this one is, rather than take Calderon out of the 11 all told and move Nanasi to cam, I'm going to try Calderon out wide for this one and see if we can, with a bit more space in open play for him, in theory, in a wider position rather than a narrow central position, we can see that world-class tendency a bit more regularly from Alvaro. If not, then maybe he becomes a bench player for us longer term and we look to sign someone that is significantly better, maybe even someone like Fournier in this Mallorca side, to come in and start at cam behind Roberto. Dear. And then take it from there. Calderon, on his day, is sensational. We just need to find a way to get him to be on his day more often than not, rather than the other way around. Koenig. And narrow up with a defender here. He's looking for a worldie. Mendy, on this occasion, deals with it well enough, as he probably should done against Valencia. I get a bit lucky there, but we get away with it. The pass probably should have found its way anyway. Nanasi in a good position. And Roberto will use the right back. Okay, we won't use the right back. Now we use the right back. Here comes Joe Mendes pushing forward. Nanasi will give me that second option aerially from crosses as well, actually, which could come in handy. Alternatively, just play him in on the ground. Nanasi finds the space. And in that central role, gives us the goal to go ahead here away from home at the Visit Mallorca Estadi. We are visiting Mallorca, and hopefully we'll take away all 3 points. Making a change, Zukovsky coming on. He was 80 rated as well, Zukovsky, so they're going to have some quality off the bench to make some alterations to the flow of the game here. Akengo. Ooh. That was a bit of a weird technique for the chest. Oh, Fournier's got the space. I hate this Fournier guy. Mendy! Thank you, sir. Hell of a challenge to win the ball back. Unbelievable. To Mendes. If we could get a second, then I'd be happy to make a couple of adjustments to the team on the pitch to give, again, some more fringe players a bit of football. Roberto could get to that. It's just weighted a little bit too heavily. Not quite going to reach him. Zukovsky back there to Capete. And they'll work it away. Capete, a player we looked at in the transfer window, actually, or a transfer window. It might not have been the most recent one, but certainly I recall scouting him and having him on my shortlist. Try and quickly turn this from defence to attack if we can. A lot of my play at the minute is coming through Palistri. And there's a strong reason for that. He's a bit bloody good. A second in this game for Malaga. A second in this game for Facundo Palistri at the double. And now we will make some changes to ensure that some fringe players get some more first team football. We'll keep some more people happy. And we'll actually give Roberto a rest ahead of the simulated game coming up against Sporting Girona, which we hope to win. I'll give Jan Couto the game ahead of Calderon. Calderon out wide and Nanasi in the middle, I feel has been better. Still not game-changing, but I feel like it's been better. So I'll stick with that for the time being. And we'll see if, not the results have been bad of late at all anyway, but we'll see if I feel a little bit happier with those two that way around. Certainly, though, Pellistri is massively pulling his weight out on the wing, unlike anyone we've had so far in this save. Certainly much better there than the man we had out there previously, whose hair didn't even load, let alone his performances. Out wide to Jean. Tucked back, and Zukovsky finds Diego Coisance. That hit Andres Caro in the hand, but we're going to deal with it. So we will get a 2-0 win here this time. Another clean sheet, which is a rarity. We'll take that. A win in the first of the two that I said I wanted to win. Now we need to go and play them, Girona, at home, and try and get back-to-back victories. 2 months for Yankuto with a dislocated shoulder. That doesn't really change things that much, because he'll be back by the end of January. But certainly I am then going to look, almost certainly, to try and find someone to look. I'd love to sign Benebe next season. Someone to try and loan as a winger or a free agent winger to come in and play on that left-hand side for the rest of this season. And I think Calderon then would drop to the bench where Couto is now not going to be. Girona in the sim next, before we then go and play Sevilla at the end of the episode. Now this one being the home game against the side that are still in the bottom half, as was the case with Mallorca as well. Should on paper be a straightforward result. 0-0 at half-time. They've had all of the ball and nobody's really created much. So we'll hope for a slightly more enthralling second half, because I probably won't have shown you anything in the edited highlights of this game so far. Hopefully this one can actually end in a goal. I thought for a minute we were going to get a pen, but no, it was offside. Nice. Oh, lovely ball. Never mind. Try again. Roberto. Oh, Nanasu. Blocked by the goalkeeper. Flicked on and in. Oh, Nanasu. We do lead by a goal to 0. Couldn't do it from open play, but from the set piece, beautifully flicked home. Whether it's a deserved lead, I don't know. Probably not. But to be honest, from the way that the game is planned out so far, neither side really deserved to be in front. So it feels like a 1-0 or a 0-0. And we've got the 1, so we'll probably stay as we are now. It was a 1-0. They didn't have a single shot in the second half. We had 3 and 1 of them went in. 2 of them came in that same passage of play, the goal and the one that led to the corner that the goal came from. So we'll take it. Another 3 points. Keeps us third in the table. We're 6 points behind Villarreal, who've slightly fallen off. And it is only slightly, but that's all it's going to take between those two sides at the top to determine who finishes where. It's Sevilla next for us. We're slightly pulling away from those outside of the top 4, but 2 or 3 points is still within one game, isn't it? So we're going to have to keep this run of form up. Sevilla, 14th so far this season. What is happening with them? Well, that's a winnable game then now. Not just one that maybe we can get a point from because they're a strong team. Let's go and win 3 straight games today. Turns out Sevilla's team isn't that great. It's not perhaps so surprising that they are where they are in the league, with Mas Hermansen in goal, Danilo Vega, Davinson Sanchez, Raffaele Rossi, and Kylian Fischer. Initially, you think it's not that bad, but then with Niklas Dorsch, then 75, Tiomir Dragovic and Batu Elmaz in midfield. It's not great. Tete is the standout star at 86, then Maximilian Bayer at striker, and then just 76 rated Leguizamon at left wing. It's not great at all. Really not strong. Amour is into the starting lineup for this one, as is Bondo, and Lianco and Amy are playing as a partnership for the first time. Lianco, just in general, is playing for the first time. We've not used him since we signed him on a free. He was only a player to come in and fill out the squad. But hopefully we'll see what he's all about here. And if we do end up loaning Amy out in January, as I think I might like to, I think I might have already agreed, actually, Amy a short-term loan. I'd have to double-check in the menus. What a ball. Oh, and what a header from Nanasi. Or Ches only score the same goals. No, we bloody don't. What a goal that is. Brilliant cross, brilliant header. 1-0 Malaga. Elmaz and Bayer. Oh, nice little dummy. Wasn't even a dummy, he just hopped out the bloody way. Pantea wins it back though. And Pellistri. Roberto's on the run. Let's just try a bit of long ball tactic maybe. Keeper. Ooh, not convincing. I did think he was a little bit close to that to just come out and catch. Punched and... oh, they will work it away, Sevilla. Lianco. Reguilon playing like a bloody winger in this game so far. He's been so far forward. He's out of bloody position though. And it's a lovely ball by Tete into Bayer. Sat the one defender down. Mendy makes a great save and Pantea will clear. That wasn't because we were complacent. That was just excellent from Sevilla. They've won it back in the midfield as well again. But we will keep possession this time. When the ball's out in the sunshine like that, the referee looks like a bloody Sevilla player. When the contrast changes, it's just the press that they put on. Really hard to deal with. The referee looks like a Sevilla player. It's caught me out a couple of times now when trying to build from the back. Hopefully be able to adjust to that moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, here comes Pantea. I'm going to play that on the floor to Roberto. And I've got runners around me again. So we'll look for Nanasi in the middle for a second time. I tried. Elmaz gets a block on it. Nanasi with the aerial battle or aerial prowess is exactly what we don't get from Calderon in that position, which is why we made the decision to change it about as we have. Nanasi is underneath this as well on our left foot. Manson tips it over the bar. He did get to it. Needed tipping. Pellistri looking for Roberto. He's headed it down well, but he's headed it wide. Amur. Nicely to Reguilon. He's just been so adventurous in this game. I don't know why or what has gotten into Reguilon today. Oh dear, or what's got into Roberto today. Can't finesse it really that well, Roberto. He's just a power shot merchant. So maybe in that scenario I do just put my foot straight bloody through it moving forward. It's a good opportunity that as well. Lianco's tried to step in there and get in on Tete. Apparently fouled him in the process. No, he hasn't. Might have even been an offside on Tete there. Looking for Roberto. Good hold up play. There's so much space for Pellistri that I hadn't even noticed. He's going to get in, cut it back, and then Nanasi. I don't really seemingly have anyone who can finesse it that well. Maybe that's something we look for when we're trying to find that new left-sided winger. Someone that can finesse the game. Finesse the shot well. Someone that has a finesse shot trait in-game. Perhaps something we could look for as a more isolated target rather than just looking for someone that has decent stats. Let's look for someone that actually has a speciality. Like when you want a dead ball specialist, you look for someone that has that free kick trait. Let's try and look for that finesse shot trait when we're looking for a winger. And maybe we might be able to create even more different types of goals that we score. And I see looking for Roberto. Oh, it's a brilliant challenge by Davinson Sanchez. I thought I was in there. Even just challenging for it with Pantea would have been nice. Leguizamo. Thank you. Where's the foul? Where's the foul in there? Well, changes for me then. Pellistri off and Kevin on. Estiquio off and Chavez on. And Sevilla will look to do something themselves. Olivier Demon on for Leguizamo out wide, who just won that foul. I used the word foul in inverted commas there, really, because I don't really think it was one. Now, from that same passage of play, they've forced the corner. If they get an equaliser, I'm going to be pissed. Short to Dragovic into the middle, and lovely clearance, pal. Absolutely superb. Thank you, Edouard, for making that save. Still, I'll be annoyed if they score from this passage of play. Dorsch. Away. That's better. Well done, Kevin. Away. Oh, no. Mendy's being called on here more regularly than I might have liked. Tete again with a short corner. Bayer again with a cross from that position. And now we've gotten it away. Oh, Amur, that's gorgeous. He's on his own, though, and there is more defenders arriving. I should have just turned around. Should quite simply have just been like, no, I'm going home. See ya. And turned right around. Deman. Tete. Mendy saves. Sevilla corner. Here we go again. This one's going to also be played short, it seems. Tete to Demon into the middle and away. Rinse, repeat for Sevilla. Win that header. Well up, Amour. Just a little hop over that. Sanchez, Beer, Tete. Don't let him shoot. Don't let him square it either. No! The pressure pays. Sevilla have an equaliser in the 83rd minute. And for the past half an hour, that has been coming. Out wide to Fisher. Outmuscled and won well by Pantea. Squeezed in again. There is the option down the line here. And space to utilise in stoppage time. Kevin will look for the run of Roberto. Find the run of Roberto. Now he needs to show some level of the ability to hold on to possession. He's taken a touch. And then their guys just run in and run off. It'll be a 1-1 draw against Sevilla. Frustrating to concede in the manner that we did. The man's so free in the box, but the pressure finally paid for Sevilla, and they do get the point that they were craving. You'd say on the balance of play, they probably deserve it. So we'll just take it on the chin away from home against a team that size of club should be doing better than they are. But size of club, we should be doing worse than we are. So swings and roundabouts, I suppose. We are, however, 12 games unbeaten now, and that streak continues despite the fact that we aren't winning every game. We are still not losing any games. And as we push into the month of January now, for the next episode, we have 3 games. Las Palmas, Almeria and Villarreal. And I will be looking to the loan market and the free agents to try and improve in that left-hand wing spot. Or at the very least, in the short term, improve with my rotation option for that. Yankuto's not good enough. Kevin's not good enough. We've progressed slightly further on than we thought we might. And as such, I need a bit more quality. So, if we can raise the funds to sign someone, I will. But I don't think we'll be able to do that. I could maybe use Yankuto as make weight. As a player swap plus cash. But Kevin, if I sell him, is only worth 7 million. And I don't think 7 million plus Yankuto's valuation of 21 is really going to be good enough to bring in anyone that is going to make a massive amount of difference. Maybe they will. Yankuto's actually valued a bit higher than I thought he would be, to be honest. So perhaps there might be the opportunity to do something permanently in the summer. Sorry, in the January. But I'd probably lean towards doing something on a short-term loan so that I can at least try someone out, because we've committed to Yankuto and he's not been good enough. So I hesitate to, and we committed to Shola Shoretire and he wasn't good enough either. So I might like to just have a little bit of a probation period, so to speak, for someone that might come in, and then maybe we commit permanently in the summer. We'll wait and see how it goes. We'll have a look and see who's available and then take it from there. But that will be tomorrow in the transfer window. Join me for it. I'll see you then.